James, Brains Headbanger Life, with day 7 of the lockdown list. Yes, we've hit one whole week of being locked up inside, forced against our will to watch horror movies on streaming services. Hope you've been enjoying it as best you can. Hope you're staying well out there. And we're going for another recommendation. Another horror movie recommendation today. Except this one is not the usual. It's not on Netflix and it's not on Prime, kind of, although the channel is available through Prime. Now this one is on Shudder. So you will need a subscription to Shudder for this. So if you don't know, Shudder is basically... It's often called the Netflix of horror, although I think that's a bold claim if you look at the content that's actually available on there. If it's better than Netflix's horror section, but it's not, say, as wide-ranging as Netflix overall. However, if you've not seen a lot of horror movies, you can get a lot of quality out of Shudder. I think you can do a 7-day free trial as well, and then it's like £4.99 afterwards a month. So easily worth the money for the originals as well. They do a lot of original movies, original TV series and stuff like that. Here I am shilling for Shudder, as if they're paying me in any way, shape or form to do this. They're not. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because the film I'm about to talk about is available on Shudder. It is also, though, not that I would tell you to do it this way. It is available on YouTube. You can watch this film for free. However, it's not the best quality and it's cut. It's got some pretty significant cuts, namely to gory and violent moments. So while you can see the overall film, I feel like you'll be missing out if you watched it on YouTube, but it is an option for you. I say you just sign up for the 7-day free trial of Shudder and then work your way through as many horrors as you can over the next week. It's not like you haven't got the time, right? In 1988, an American supernatural horror film was directed by Kevin S. Tenney. It was called Night of the Demons. It is one of my all-time favourite 80s horror movies. It combines everything I love about the 80s, from the wacky story to the over-the-top characters, to the great practical effects, to the tongue-in-cheek humour, to the blood, boobs, and all of that. It's very much a product of its time. It stars Amelia Kincaid, Kathy Podwell, Linnea Quigley, Hal Havens, and Alvin Alexis. This is a fun-ass movie, and it basically revolves around kids doing things they're not supposed to, young adults. It's a very basic story in that sense, where on Halloween night they decide to throw a party inside I think it's like a crematorium or an old mortuary, like an old, the building attached to one of them in a sort of kind of graveyardy area. Funeral parlour, that's what I'm thinking of, a bloody funeral parlour. Halloween night, small group of them, they go to hang out and they end up conducting a seance and release a demon that's been locked inside that crematorium for a very, very long time. It possesses one of them and then starts working its way through the group, as per usual. Now, it's funny, the character, I can't quite remember who plays her. Let me just bring it up. Amelia Kincaid, who plays Angela, would actually go and effectively become the star of the series. Night of the Demons has a couple of films after this, although the actress would be replaced later on. But Angela would become basically the star because she's the first one possessed and she's the main demon of this. It's a lot of fucking fun. It's so over the top at times, but then also really reserved at others. It always, you kind of see it coming all the time. Everything, all the violence and the death, as one character decides to peel off to go have sex with another. Another one decides to go wandering looking for a friend who's gone missing. All the usual stuff. But it's the violence that's meted out on them that often is the most enjoyable, There's a great dance sequence where possessed Angela, before she's become full demon, is dancing wildly. And it's quite a lengthy scene. Like very, very rainbow rhythms, her kind of dancing. And she ends up dancing with one of the guys and biting his tongue out of his mouth. Then there's like the famous Linnea Quigley scene where she pushes a lipstick through her breast. If you want to see Linnea Quigley naked, you'll get to see that in this movie. Although if you know your horror and you know Linnea Quigley, seeing her naked should hardly be a surprise. Once her name is attached to a film, you're guaranteed to at least see her topless. But she's great in this. It's one of her best roles. And it all culminates in a very, very cheesy, dark, tongue-in-cheek ending that's it's almost like a wraparound story. Because the movie opens with something completely different, which is also how it ends. And it's like almost like an anthology creepshow style wraparound, but it's delightfully dark. And I remember as a kid it being quite disturbing. It's a great, great movie and an absolute product of its time. It has had a remake. I will tell you now, it had a remake in 2009, I believe it was. And the remake is not very good. It has positives in that it's very violent and very gory. And again, they kind of play up to the cheese factor. But they can never capture that 80s time period correctly in this remake. So it's far lesser. I would advise you watch the original over the remake. Although you should potentially check out the remake at another time anyway. Night of the Demons, 1988. It's available on Shudder. A stripped back version is available in YouTube. Make sure you check it out. Let us know what you think of it if you watch it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl as well as Big Cartel where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?